York to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ebro, Laura Rosenberg. We're checking in with our girl who's always on the streets, representing the Peace Mobile.
We got to get back in there.
Erica Ford on the line. What's up, lady? How you doing?
Peace. How are you? I'm great. Everything is going good today.
We woke Erica Ford up early because she's normally out late with the community. We appreciate you getting up early to give the community an update here in New York City. Look, we've been hearing all of the noise and all of the facts about gun violence in New York City over the last year, with everything going on from the pandemic to the slow courts to the problems at Rikers to, people blaming cash bail to ghost guns. I could run down a laundry list of items that are the cause for the uptick in violence. But what are you seeing out here in the streets?
Yeah. And just a simple fact that you could run down a list means there has to be a variety of how we address it, right? We can't just address it one way. And that's one of the major things here in New York City and around the nation. It's always tried to address one way, and we can't fix it like that. When you look at the trauma that happened from all of the violence last year, as well as Corona, then we get into people have a whole lot of money from unemployment, PPP loans, and they went out and purchased these equipment to make ghost guns, right? Because, and where are they making it? Are they making it in your house? You have to check your house. Parents, family members, you got to check your house. You got to check what your kids are doing. You got to be involved and engaged on their social media, because it's far too late to learn afterwards that they were involved in something that takes their life and somebody else's life. We have 357 people killed so far in New York City. And that's far too many. And 21 of them are under the age of 18. So
now,
we do
for
something
perspective, that's up a few hundred from last year, same time.
Correct.
And then, but now from even more perspective, that's nowhere near the numbers we were seeing in the late 80s and early 90s, which was in the thousands.
Facts.
So I say that to say that we can make some inroads here. We can solve this a little, in a short order if we're focused, easier than it was solved in the late 80s and 90s, is my point.
Without a doubt. In 2017, there was 548 murders for the year, which was the lowest since 1975. And we had made New York City the safest big city. And that's because we did direct, intentional investment in violence interrupters, therapeutic services, work in the school, work in the jail, work in the ACS centers, work on the blocks, every single place. And then at the same time, had lawyers moving stuff through the court, had people doing advocacy and organizing and training families how to work with their children. So it was a comprehensive approach to what's going on. We have to double that now in terms of just coming out after the pandemic. And we need more spaces to take these young people. In most of the areas where we live, kids can't go into the buildings, right? A lot of the buildings have been closed for a very long time. So there's no physical activity for them to get out all of these emotions that are going on. Here we have two community centers. Neither one of them equal a community center, in terms of the times that they're open. And most of the spaces, we have around 30 sites across the city, and none of them have real big communities. Most of them do not have big community centers where we can take these young people and do stuff with us. We need to increase where we can take the young people so that they don't have to be in the house making ghost guns or doing things that just are gonna, like, on the internet beefing with each other. And now they're back in school. And so if we've been fighting for the last year and a half, people have been killed from my crew and your crew. When we see each other, we popping off on site, even if it's the girls seeing each other, because what we see now is a lot of increase in girls fighting, and then that brings the brothers and the cousins, and then the shooting starts. And so we have to put more emphasis on just oversight and management of what our kids are doing. And it can't just be the mother or the father. It's got to be the whole community. We got to not just see stuff and walk by. We got to get engaged. So we're definitely recruiting volunteers to help us to make safe corridors by the schools, to make safe corridors in areas in which our kids, to close streets and make play blocks and engage. Because if it went from 10 years old to 18, 21 people killed this year. Like, a lot of the shooters are 12 to 18, you know? So we got to change the game, you know? And so we need the listeners to get involved and support us. Our number is 646-258-0936, or they could go to Life Camp Inc. And we're in, not the New York City crisis management system is in all 5 boroughs. So whichever borough you in, we need you to volunteer, you know.
So Erica, is that the best way that people can help, by volunteering? What are other ways that we can support you?
People could always donate, you know, people could always donate to help us buy a building. We're looking at buildings now because we have to expand. We got to get more peace mobiles on the street so that we could pull up in different areas. People could help by calling elected officials and emphasizing the importance of having more community centers, having more resources for our kids. But volunteering right now, we do need physical bodies to be trained, to be peacekeepers, to be out in these streets helping us keep peace across New York City.
Erica, the support from the city, de Blasio's administration poured about $10 million into the peace mobiles around the city and the organizations that are the, you know, I guess first responders, for lack of a better term, that are there in the communities when things happen to de-escalate.
Correct.
You also met with Joe Biden's team early in his, you know, when he first got in office, about gun policy reform. In both those cases, I'm asking you, how much support and communication is there still today? Because this is not a one-time, you know, you don't just get to write a check and it's done. Like, this is something we have to continue working on. And it's a culture shift, not only for the local politics, but on a federal level too. How much conversation is taking place between you and these administrations and other orgs in these administrations right now?
That's it's good that you said the culture shift. Friday, a group of us met with the CDC because they don't know what they don't know. And so it was around meeting with them to go over the language that is used for RFPs, to go over the understanding of what needs to be the comprehensive approach.
What's an RFP?
Request for proposal. So that's how the organizations on the ground would get their money. So the CDC normally puts out proposals, but it doesn't speak to the work that we do. It doesn't allow us to do unconventional therapeutic services. It wouldn't allow us to have a peace mobile or different things because the language was just around, you know, taking the guns off the street, violence interrupters, which workers, and it has to be more comprehensive. De Blasio is also investing more money for more sites, but there has to be more on both levels. We see that the Congress did not vote Friday for the reconciliation bill, which where the $5 billion is. We need Senate and Congress to vote for the reconciliation bill. We need them to vote for that money so that it can get to the groups on the ground. That's very, 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 very important. And we need de Blasio and the New York City government to do more as well. We need community centers. We need Rikers to be fixed. You know, we need to go back inside Rikers and do programming. Things that work, we need to put more money into, not decrease its service. Rikers is going crazy right now. And it's not just about cleaning physically the building. I mean, it's about putting the programs back in there that help the young people and the correctional officers.
Erica Ford from Life Camp. We stay in tune. We got to get back out in these streets in the Peace Mobile. And, you know, COVID slowed us down, but now we about to get into winter. We should probably get back out there, though, for Thanksgiving. You know, give some jackets, get some money to the kids, you know, whatever's needed, you know. So let's figure that out. We appreciate you coming on the program. Let's stay in.
And one more time, Erica, if people want to donate, what's the number one? Would donate or volunteer? How should they get at you?
Life Camp Inc. is the organization to sign up. 646-258-0936 is the number to call and volunteer.
And for the audience out there, Erica works with a lot of organizations around the city. She has her own organization, but you were kind of the nucleus in communicating with a lot of organizations around the city, and that's why we often have you on, because you can give us some intel about a lot of things.
October 11th is a peace march. It's starting at the Barclays at 11 a.m. It's a peace march on October 11th. So New York City, come out and let's show the city that we work together to co-produce public safety. It's a peace march led by CCD, 11 o'clock at the Barclays, October 11th.
There it goes. Erica Ford.
Thanks, Erica.
Love.
Thank you, Erica.
Peace.
Take care.